3 weeks ago, somebody who was going to be voting for Kamala Harris came up to me and said, "Oh my God, Trump's going to win." I go, "Why is that?" He goes, "I went to the grocery store. Butter's over $3." I kind of laughed and I said, "Well, that's kind of reductive, isn't it?" Said it to myself. To him, I smiled and I said, "Good point." But it actually, what everything we're hearing after the election is,
I'm just saying, the $7.
What's that?
The $7.
What's that? Butter is $7?
Yeah.
What? Is it framed in gold?
Yeah, what kind of butter?
Depends on where you go.
Hope it tastes good, right? Stunned about the price of butter. It's not a surprise to everyday Americans. Prices of groceries and other basics have been soaring during the Biden years. And here to talk about is Todd Pyro, Fox and Friends first co-host, and Tyrus, Fox News contributor. And gentlemen, nice to see you both.
If you want to stay tuned for this episode of After Show Carnage, as you can see, Tyrus is going to enter the chat. And we're going to talk about Sunny Hostin later. But as you can see, Joe Scarborough doesn't know the price of butter, can't believe it, tries to play it off. It sounds awkward. Mika Brzezinski's like, huh? You don't know what's going on in our country? They get awkward. Could you imagine doing a show with your wife? But this is what After Show Carnage is about. We'll find the clips for you. Tyrus going at Sunny Hostin, starting off with Mika and Joe. This is why they lost the election. Let's get into the clip.
If you voted for Donald Trump, and if you were concerned about the cost of food and groceries, 60% of you voted for Team Red over the weekend. Got that? 60%.
Yeah, Joe is struggling. When you have to make up stories to people because he didn't know. And I think Micah might be coming around because she had to correct him, like, it's $7. But it was just the whole thing, the whole country across. It was a multicultural landslide election. Everybody did. Blacks, whites, Asians, Hispanics, gay, straight, because everybody does not like paying $7 for butter, $9 for eggs, $4 a gallon, almost $5 in some states for gas. So it was across the board. It was an election of policy.
The pinch is real.
The feelings are out of it.
Yeah.
Wokeism's out of it. It was, everybody in America wants to succeed, and when you're losing at the dinner table, that's tough to stomach.
And Todd, this is the other thing that happened. College professors are basically cutting classes, saying, look, if this is the Harvard Crimson, Harvard professors cancel classes as students feel blue after Trump win. This is ridiculous.
Look at the schools. It's Ivy League schools. I worked my entire 0 to 18 life so that I could get into an Ivy League school because I thought it was the pinnacle. The reason you want it to be your pinnacle is because you know when you go to an employer and you say, I went to Dartmouth or I went to this other Ivy League school, that's a sign that you are smart and you're ready to work. In 2024, it's not that sign anymore. It's a sign that you are weak, that you are entitled, and that's why you are seeing so many employers say, I don't want the Harvard grad anymore, because this is how they are coddled. In a workplace, look at our week. We did a lot of extra work, every single person on here this week, and there were no complaints. Why? Because that's what you do at a job. And look at that response.
It's never been a better time to be at the University of Phoenix. It really is. Like, it's about education and work. We need to bring trade schools back. These professors should be fired. Your job is there to educate, not put your feelings. I can't go to work today because I didn't get my way. That's a professor. I'd pull my kid out.
Teachers, I would have assigned extra work.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And you know what? And write an essay about it, too, while you're at it. It'll count for half your grade.
Did you say Micah? It's Mika.
Mika.
Oh, I don't watch. Is that, you know what? You're overworked. You're tired. You stood up all night. Slapped my hands. I said, hey,
Tyrus,
you know what? They mispronounced Donald Trump's name. They kept calling him Hitler, so I think I can get a pass if I want to call her Mika, Michelangelo.
Like he was out of arm's reach.
You want to fight? You want to fight, man? You want to go? You want to go, bro?
He doesn't know my week's over after this.
That's a great response. I don't give a damn. Of course it's Mika. Brzezinski, I don't give a damn. We don't respect each other. I don't care what I call you. I'll mess up your pronouns on purpose.
Think the Bengals got it bad?
Check it out on The View, all right? Talking about Latinos. Watch this, Tyrus.
Latinos in Texas, a district that's 97% Latino, went 75 percentage points for Donald Trump. Why?
Misogyny.
It's on the border.
It's
the border
misogyny.
crisis is on their doorstep.
So
and they were begging people to care about it for years. We
Misogyny
need to
and
take some
sexism.
lessons.
That's what that was.
Misogyny and sexism.
Sure, all that.
Hey, what do you think? Is it fair to say that America wanted a little bit more of what Sunny considers misogyny in their life? Was that the indictment of the election this go around? That what you call, whether it is or not irrelevant, if Donald Trump represents misogyny, maybe America wanted a little bit more misogyny in their lives. If you don't pivot from this, it ain't gonna work. We just found out today, as I'm recording this, that Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, to no surprise to anybody, is potentially being bantered about as running for president in 2028. And I bring that up because AOC would talk about misogyny, sexism, racism, throwing all these isms out. She's not going to have a chance. She does have a chance because she's a celebrity, but she won't have a chance if she's still going down that route. If she tries to copy Bernie Sanders, Bernie Sanders of 2016 didn't have any misogyny, didn't have any racism talk in there, not a lot that I remember at all. It was about class warfare, whether you like that or not. That resonates more with people than this type of stuff that Sunny says, well, it's racism, it's sexism, it's misogyny. Bernie Sanders 2016 was more base. Bernie Sanders 2016 wanted closed borders. Why? Because when you let people in the country, it's a fight over resources. You see more housing prices go up. Wages are suppressed. Everybody's fighting for resources. And if AOC returns back to that, you won't see any of this Sunny Hostin stuff. You'll see Sunny fired, Joy Reid fired. And you won't see them become MAGA, but you'll see them talk about these issues in a much more relatable way. Let's see what the rest of this segment talks about here.
And the price of butter. Sunny gets the game ball. If it wasn't for her, asking that question, it might have been a closer election. But when oh no, nothing really comes to mind, I was like, cha-ching. Listen, they're bitter, they're angry, they're entitled. They also should be. This should have been a reset for everyone who pushed lies and misinformation for the last. They call them Hitler, they call these things. America rejected them. And instead of coming back and saying, we lied, they instead are now doubling down. So let her keep doing it, because if she keeps that up, we're going to keep getting the Senate and probably the House and the White House, because people see right through your lies. So keep doing what you're doing. Game ball to Sunny.
The last 72 hours have been the greatest cell phone from the mainstream media that we could have possibly ever imagined.
Stay tuned. I'm going to play that clip from Hassan Piker that ties into this to show you there's two different sides on that Democrat side. There are the people who want to be seen as the populist left. They want to be seen like Steve Bannon, but on the left. They want to be seen as Bernie Sanders in 2016 and 2020, but 2016 was the magical Bernie run where, remember, Donald Trump even said they stole it from Bernie. When you go out of that realm, they still have these problems, but they will be more based. They're going to go away. They're going to pivot. They're going to pivot away from the Sunny Hostins or whatever her name is. They're going to pivot away from them because their opinions are not popular anymore.
There are two issues that decided this election. We've been talking about these two issues for the last 4 years, the border and the economy. Yet you watch any of the mainstream media trying to figure out excuses, and they're coming up with all stuff that didn't matter, that they wanted to matter. But in reality, it came down to two things. The results show that.
For some of them, it took them about 3.5 years to even get a reporter on the board.
That's right.
We're going to end with this clip from Hassan Piker. You tell me. Are the Sunny Hostins, are the Mika Brzezinskis, are the Joe Scarboroughs, is that side going to win out? Because that's the side that has the money, or historically has had the money in the Democrat Party. I know that's weird to throw Joe Scarborough in there, but that's essentially what he has become. Is that side going to win, or is it going to be this side? This is Hassan Piker.
The number one reason why homelessness persists, the number one reason why homelessness exists is because people get priced out of the market. When people get priced out of the market, they start living in their cars. When you start living in your car, you no longer have access to running water. You can't clean yourself. You lose your job. Your job attainment goes away. When you lose your job, you fall further down that pit until you arrive at the home.
Watch, as this segment is going, Cenk Uygur is shaking his head. So Cenk Uygur is like, I don't like where Hassan Piker is going with this. Cenk Uygur is going a little bit more of the, I don't want to say middle. It's the more I'm Bernie Sanders of 2016 that I don't support open borders. Hassan Piker is going with the typical leftist trying to fit in the box of, well, we do have to have open borders. But the Sunny Hostins, the Joy Reids, they're going to be out of here. I don't think Joy Reid's going to make it until January. This is where the debate on the left is going to be. Where is AOC going to land on this conversation?
Homeless guy that has been traumatized by living outside and looks like a crazy person, is probably experiencing significant mental health complications and doing drugs to self-medicate in that process. And everyone sees that and goes, that's crime. Why is no one fixing this?
No.
And that is the major issue. It's not. It's
I haven't gotten in here in like 20 minutes. So let me address crime.
Oh, first of all, you've definitely talked a lot more than me. I've given you all the space.
Okay, listen. So let me address crime, then we'll get to homelessness.
They put a ticker on there that Jake has talked 20% more, but maybe I'll do a different breakdown on that one. But let me know who's going to win this battle of this left. There's more after show carnage. It never ends. There's always carnage and there's always an after show. Click the video right below for more of it. Before you do that, give a like, comment if you enjoy the content. And I honestly want to hear your opinion on what's happening on the fractured corporate left. Take care.